Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I don't give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing about time. Doing about time. Got myself a problem.
from San Diego. It's Sports World Radio. You've never heard a sports show like this. Oh, no, you haven't.
Oh, blow me.
You got it.
Holy fucking shit.
What the hell is your major malfunction?
Can't believe that goddamn son of a bitch did that fucking crap.
Don't give me any of your shit.
Right?
Yeah, that's right. Those are your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Remember, those who can't play sports, talk about it. These two tell it like it is. Tune into Sports World Radio for the fastest hour of sports of your life. So here they are, the douchebags of sports themselves, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome. Excuse me. Hey, welcome everybody to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. I guarantee it. You will never, ever hear a sports show like this anywhere on the internet or on the radio. I guarantee it. So join us each Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. on the East, 3 p.m. on the West. And if you live in the Central,
figure that out for yourself.
That's right. Every Monday through Friday on SportsWorldRadio.com. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll get on with the show. There's a lot to get to, so I'm going to do this quick so we have plenty of time to get to. I'm hoping we get our good friend Ron Gallo, Sports World Radio's hockey guru, to come on in the second hour of the show today. And we're going to talk all NHL hockey, what's going on in the playoffs. So, Wes, get your butt in here in the second hour of the show so you can hear just how bad your team is really doing, even though they won last night. I don't care. SportsWorldRadio.com is the place to listen to us each and every Monday through Friday. If you want to come and hang out in our chat room, we're over at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker. That's Spreaker.com, Spreaker.com. If you don't have an account, don't worry. It's free. Get yourself a free account. Sign up right away. Type in Sports World Radio after you got your free account. The chat room will come up at the bottom of the show. The show will come up at the bottom of your screen. Go all the way over to the right to the bubble. Click the bubble. The chat room will open. Start chatting away and tell us what you're thinking. Shaba's in the house. Welcome, my friend. Hopefully Laura can make it today in the second hour. We got a lot of hockey talk coming. Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Like our Facebook page. We need likes. We got to get likes. Like our Facebook page. Like, Facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. And while you're doing that, man, you might as well follow us on Twitter at Twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. Also, if you want to get in touch with the show, 619-663-3715, 619-663-3715 is the number to get in touch with us here at Sports World Radio. If you're a Skype user, well, you're in luck because you can Skype us at Sports World Radio Show. That's right, Sports World Radio Show on Skype. You can get in touch with us that way. The email, swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com is another way to get in touch with us as well. Now listen, we have our sports shorts up and going. The membership site is up. Everything is going. If you want to become a member of SWR Sports Shorts, head on over to SportsWorldRadio.com/Sport Shorts. That's SportsWorldRadio.com/Sport Shorts. We are running a contest just for the people on Sport Shorts. Just for them. Okay? It's the word of the day. They will get the word of the day on one commercial break in the first hour, and then we'll get the word of the day on a commercial break in the second hour. It will be the same word. You'll have two chances. All you need to do is send that word of the day to swrshow@gmail.com. But you have to be a member of SWR Sports Shorts to get the word of the day. So, join SWR Sports Shorts now at sportsworldradio.com/sport shorts. Join today and become part of the Word of the Day contest over there. We're also going to run another contest. I'm not going to announce that one. I'm going to announce that after I talk to the boys. Sean knows what it is. Josh's got no clue. We got to get Josh involved first before I make that announcement. But that announcement will be coming on Monday for sure because I'm going to talk to the boys over the weekend. So that announcement will be coming on Monday, so get ready for that. That's really cool. This contest I got coming up next is for everybody, for all the listeners, for all the sports shorts people, for everybody who wants to get into the contest. It's a great contest. Sean loves the idea. Josh is going to love the idea. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a blast with it, so get ready for that. We're going to announce that on Monday. With all that being said, let's bring in the co-host himself, Sean Man, the update man. What's going on there, my friend?
Doing good, Jeff. Welcome, everybody. 8 minutes after the hour on the 22nd of April, 2015. Temperature right now is 55 degrees. Very nice and cool, unlike yesterday because it was very warm and sunshiny. So now we kind of cooled down. I'm doing well in general. How are you doing, Jeff? And it's always nice and sunny San Diego because I know you got the air conditioning turned off.
Yeah, well, I just turned it off before I even called you because, hey, it's hot down here, man. It's San Diego. What do you expect? You know, I had to have the air on. So we'll see what happens. But it's off now. We'll see how long it takes for this room to heat up. Excuse me. Lots of things going on in the sports world. So, with that being said, which story would you like to start off with today?
All right, we're going to start off with the story that you came up with that you just sent to me that I find interesting. The NFL drops the hammer on Greg Hardy, suspends him 10 games without pay. The NFL Zone reported today.
The NFL Zone reported today that Greg Hardy is suspended for 10 games without pay. Way to go, Jerry Jones. You really know how to add people to your team, don't you?
And Smoking Ronnie, I wonder what you have to say about that.
Oh, he's not here.
Show up. The last message I got from the Smoking Ronnie update was when he messaged me on Facebook Messenger, I think last week, and said that the Dallas Cowboys are going to win the whole championship in the Super Bowl. Now you got Greg Hardy out, 10 games of the season for what he has done. Ouch.
And you know what's kind of ironic about it? His first game back is going to be against his old team, the Carolina Panthers.
That's right.
How crazy is that?
Look what Shabba said. He's gone? Well, there goes Smoking Ronnie's big plans for the next February down in San Diego.
And the Cowboys knew that he was going to get suspended, but they didn't expect 10 games. That's a lot. Good for him. Good for the NFL. Way to screw the Cowboys. Thank you.
My personal opinion of this story that you sent to me, Jeff, goes like this, and that is I actually am shocked that he would get 10 games. That's kind of a big penalty. Do you think it's possible that the NFL could possibly reduce this maybe from 10 to maybe like 6 or maybe 7 games? You think they're going a little bit too hard?
Last season, Hardy missed 15 games last season on the commissioner's exempt list, but he was paid during that time. This time he's going to miss 10 games and he gets no pay.
Yeah.
So he's going to lose 10 game paychecks, which is beautiful.
It's like really, really surprising that happened. And now for Jerry Jones, you got to remember this too about the Dallas Cowboys. Since Jerry Jones has bought this team and has been the owner of the Dallas Cowboys since 1989, he has always dealt with an NFL player who gets himself in trouble for whatever it is. Michael Irvin did. I know Emmitt Smith, I think, got himself in trouble either for rape or either for this or that, and he has had to deal with it all the time. Just like with Al Davis and the Oakland Raiders, that's the same situation.
Same thing.
Yeah, same situation. The Cowboys, of course, gave Hardy an unusual structured one-year deal, anticipating some NFL suspension, like you pointed out. Hardy got a deal that could max out at $11.3 million, but about $9.25 million of that was to be paid in weekly bonuses for being on the active roster.
Yeah, but he's not on the active roster now because he's suspended for 10 games, so he ain't getting paid crap.
That is right.
He ain't getting paid crap. Nothing. Yeah. Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at all.
Nothing. Right, so he's supposed to get $9.5 million paid to him on a weekly bonus to be on the active roster. Well, he ain't getting that at all.
No, he's not.
Not for at least the first 10 weeks.
And so good luck, Greg Hardy. Enjoy the fact that you can relax and enjoy yourself and realize that you just wasted a lot of your time with getting suspended 10 games. Another story that comes out from the NFL. We stay with that, Jeff, at 13 minutes after the hour, and that goes like this. The NFL schedules have been released. Everybody knows now who they will be playing. I went over it, and Josh has said that he has a bone to pick with Roger Goodell. I Skyped with him, and it was quite a funny conversation I had with Josh. He says, Jeff, I think the NFL schedules are a complete joke.
I was looking at the Chargers schedule last night. Okay, and I have it in front of me right now, in fact. Okay? Hey.
Going there now.
Hey, you Chicago boys. Yes, I'm talking to both of yous. The producer of Sports World Radio, personally, I'm talking to you right now. Okay? Josh, Lopez, Frank, Sprankle. I expect to see you here in San Diego for the Monday night game against the Chicago Bears.
Start saving up, Josh and Frank. That's
right.
what Jeff told you for your trip to San Diego.
It's a Monday night game. You guys, if you guys tell me that you guys are coming, I will get 3 tickets, and we will go to the game. Okay?
Start saving up. And I can tell you, maybe Frank can help you out with that, Josh. Start saving up, because that Monday night football game will be November 9th, and that game will be on ESPN. Yep. And that'd be cool, Jeff, if you could get a ticket for yourself and for Josh and Frank.
I'll get 3 tickets. It's a Monday night game. It's the week before Thanksgiving. No, yeah, it's like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. So so you guys got to get out here for that. And you know what? They play that whole division. They open up the season with Detroit. Then they go to Cincinnati. Okay? They play. You know what's even better than that, Sean?
What?
They play 2 Monday night games, okay? One against Chicago. The first Monday night game that San Diego plays here in San Diego, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Jeff, Josh and I were going over that, too, about the San Diego Chargers. And I know with the Chargers going up against Pittsburgh, there will be a lot of...
Oh, my God.
War of words between you and Wes. And Wes will be probably posting on your timeline saying, watch what's going to happen when the Steelers go into San Diego and win one for the Bird, baby.
Watch what's going to happen when the Steelers come into the warm town of San Diego. They're going to get their ass kicked. Okay? Monday night game. Hey, Wes, fly your ass out here to San Diego and let's go to the game, bitch. Come on. And you want to know something, Sean? The week before that, they play the Cleveland Browns.
That's right.
They play that whole division. They play the Chicago division and the Pittsburgh division this year. And they got Jacksonville, too. How about that?
Shabba, you talk about the Saints, let's talk a little bit about the Saints schedule.
No Saints for me. We don't play the Saints this year. That kind of stinks. I would have liked to be playing this. The Giants play the Saints, though, don't they?
Yes, November 1st, Sunday. Shabba, you'll be watching the Saints go up against Jeff's favorite team, the New York Football Giants.
Giants are going to kick their butt.
The Saints' schedule goes like this. They open up at Arizona, at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, at Carolina. How about this, Shabba? The Saints will play the Dallas Cowboys, and that's a Sunday night game on October 4th.
The Saints are playing the Dallas Cowboys?
That's right. They're hosting them.
Okay, let me get over to the Saints schedule. Okay, I'm over there now. They open up against Arizona. When are they playing?
September 13th.
October 4th, they play Dallas.
October 4th. Okay.
September 13th. Where the hell are you?
Oh, I thought you were asking about who they opened up.
And then they play the Eagles right after that too.
That's right.
Following week after that. And then they got the Giants on November 1st in New Orleans. In New Orleans. I'd like to go to New Orleans.
Shabba says the Saints' schedule I'm liking. We play the weakest division in the AFC and the NFC East.
You got Arizona, they're in your division. You got Tampa Bay, Carolina, Dallas, Philadelphia, Indy. You got Indy, man. Come on. You got Atlanta, they're in your division. Giants, Tennessee, Washington, Houston. Detroit. You got Jacksonville, Jiminy Cricket's sakes. You should be able to beat them.
I agree, though, Shaba. It seems like with the NFL schedule for
Where's
the
that
Saints,
game, in London?
it is.
Where's that Jacksonville game, in London, for Christ's sakes?
I believe I'm looking at it right now. Jacksonville seems to be playing in London a lot. They're getting very popular
What's
there.
your freaking schedule like? You open up against Pittsburgh, right? You got to win that game. You know that, right?
Yes, the Patriots do. September 10th. That's the Thursday night game.
There's 2 games I really want you to win really bad. The Pittsburgh game and the Dallas game. You know, you got Pittsburgh, then you got Buffalo, then you got Jacksonville. Then you got Dallas, you got Indy, then the Jets, then the Dolphins, the Redskins, then the Giants. We play again this year?
Yes,
Ooh.
at MetLife Stadium. The Patriots will be playing the New York Football Giants. Of course, I know what the memories have been like against them.
Woo. That's nice. That's
so, buddy,
nice.
there's
and
like 3 games
and
for
you
the
got
Patriots.
Denver. You got a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah, New England does. You think about it. Pittsburgh, I got to focus on dealing with Wes for that whole week. Then I got to focus on Dallas. Of course, Michael Sines, my good buddy. Of course,
Dallas,
I'm talking
you got
about
the Giants. You got Philadelphia. And then after that, you got Tennessee. You know what? Now that I look at this schedule, you really only got a couple of tough games. I think you're going to kill the AFC East. I think you're going to kick the crap out of every team there.
Yeah, the AFC East, New England's totally got it.
Yeah, you might
Josh
be able
goes,
to
there'll
go
be a lot of
undefeated
rants
again.
for the NFL Real Talk on Saturday nights.
You know what? I hope you go undefeated until you play the Giants, and then the Giants beat you.
Oh, don't give me memories like that from 2007. Oh.
That's what I hope. I hope you go undefeated till you play the Giants. Undefeated till you play the Giants, and the Giants beat you. That'll work for me.
Josh goes, when I saw the football schedule, all I saw was propaganda. That's what Josh says.
I'm sure, Josh. Lots of rants for NFL Real Talk. Well, I haven't really checked out everybody's schedule yet. I haven't even really looked at the Giants' schedule too much. I know they open up against the Cowboys.
That's right.
I know
Get to the Giants real quickly. For the Chicago Bears, Jeff, the Bears will open up Sunday at home against the Green Bay Packers, at home against Arizona. The Bears will then travel to Seattle for Week 3, September 27th, at home against Oakland, at Kansas City, and at Detroit. That's the first half of the schedule for the Chicago Bears. For the first 6 weeks.
When do the Bears get their bye? Let me see here. What week do they get their bye at?
Oh, Week 7.
Week 7 is their bye?
Yes.
That's not too bad.
Second half, the Bears will host the Minnesota Vikings November 1st. And, of course, November 9th, that big game at San Diego on ESPN. The Bears will then be on the road again. They will travel to St. Louis to take on the Rams.
Now how ironic is it that the Bears and Denver are playing against each other in Chicago, and now the old Denver coach is the coach of the Bears? How ironic is that?
Oh, I know. That's just so weird looking at the schedule and realizing John Fox going up against his former team, the team he helped get to the playoffs the last 3 years and led them to the Super Bowl for the 2013 Broncos.
I like to see the Bears beat the Raiders and Denver and Kansas City and then lose to the Chargers. I mean, I like to see the Bears beat the Raiders, beat Kansas City, beat Denver, and lose to the Chargers. That's what I'd like to see happen.
And I look at more of the schedule for the Bears. November 26th, they'll play Thanksgiving night, and that is the night that Brett Favre's number 4 jersey will be retired at halftime of that game between Chicago and Green Bay.
I'm sure Josh is happy about that. It's against his team. I'm sure he's going to love that.
The game's on NBC for that one.
Yeah, I know, and he's forced to watch it, no less.
Josh, you'll be sitting there like going, great, I got to waste my time listening to Brett Favre, the drama king, because over the years, Favre had always said, I'm going to retire from the game, and then I'm going to come back. Retire, come back, retire, come back.
Mm-hmm.
The Bears will continue a homestand then. December 6th, they will host the San Francisco 49ers. They will host the Washington Redskins. Josh and I were talking on Skype, Jeff. He goes, if there are a couple games I have to look forward to, I have to deal with the San Diego-Chicago game, and then Chicago plays the Redskins, and we all know who the Redskins team is. That's Gary One-Arm, the diehard Redskins fan.
I find it kind of funny that they play that they play the Redskins, right?
Right.
And they only play the Redskins in that division. They don't play Philadelphia, they don't play Dallas, and they don't play the Giants. What's up with that? What do they give? They give Chicago the worst team in the division, but they don't let them play the other teams? What the hell is up with that?
I don't know.
Chicago's afraid of the other teams, that's why.
Hello there, Kathy. Welcome to the show. We're going over the NFL schedules right now.
She's a New England fan, right?
Yeah, she's the diehard Patriots fan.
We already talked about the Patriots schedule, so you missed that, Kathy. So you'll have to go back and listen to the show a little earlier and re-listen to what we talked about the Patriots schedule.
The Bears then will continue. They've got 2 games on the road at Minnesota, at Tampa Bay. How about this? The Bears take on another team with the former coach, Lovie Smith.
Yeah, I know.
Jeff?
How about that? That's pretty crazy. Bears don't have that bad of a schedule. I mean, they got Seattle. They got Denver. Listen, I'm not picking San Francisco to win a game at all this year.
Yeah, Josh even told me the 49ers are going to be bad again this year, just like he predicted last year.
I don't think I'm going to be predicting them to win at all this year. You know what? Chicago in this game's winning. I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Chicago in that game.
And then the Bears will end their final game, which is January 3rd at home against the Detroit Lions.
Okay,
That's Chicago Bears schedule.
Okay, let's go over to the Giants schedule.
Okay. The New York Football Giants.
Open up against the Cowboys.
They will open up, like you pointed out, Sunday Night Football on NBC. It will be the Giants at the Cowboys.
And you want to know something, Michael? Or Smoking Ronnie?
Yep.
Smoking Ronnie? When Sunday night, September 13th, you can start making plans to come to my house. Because your undefeated season is over right there. So you can start making plans to come to my house for Super Bowl Sunday, bitch.
Signs even said he believes, when he messaged me today, he says he believes that the Dallas Cowboys will win that opening game against the New York Football Giants.
It's not going to happen. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Smokin' Ronnie said that that the Dallas Cowboys will go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. And if they don't go undefeated and win the Super Bowl party here at Sports World Radio headquarters, correct?
Correct.
Him cooking the barbecue with his ribs and sauce, correct?
Correct.
So that means we will know come September 13th, after this game is over, we will all know that Smokin' Ronnie will be at Sports World Radio headquarters having a barbecue on Super Bowl Sunday, won't we?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The first week of the season, we'll know right away because his undefeated season is gone out the door the first week. See you, wouldn't want to be you.
26 minutes after the hour. We got about 4 minutes left before the first commercial break.
I'm just saying, Smokin' Ronnie, you're the one that made the bet. You're the one who said they were going undefeated. Well, it ain't happening because they're getting beat the first week of the season, and you'll be it. So you might as well buy your plane ticket now. In fact, you know what, Smokin' Ronnie, and everybody else who's listening, he wants to come out here for a Super Bowl party, Sports World Radio style, you can buy your tickets September 14th. You can buy your tickets September 14th to fly on out here to San Diego for the Super Bowl.
Smokin' Ronnie did message me, though, and the last message he did say was silver and blue, baby. The silver and blue is just going to take over the whole NFL this year.
The Super Bowl is February 7th, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so on September 14th, you can buy your tickets. Get here on Friday night, February 5th, hang out for the weekend, and leave on Monday.
Yeah. Smokin' Ronnie is not going to like that. He gets those ribs, he's going to sit there and we're going to go, aren't those delicious, Smokin' Ronnie? You lost the bet.
I'm going to take video of him cooking at the grill and video of everybody going, thanks, Ronnie. Your team really sucks. Thanks for the Dallas Cowboys losing. Thank you. Oh, yeah, we're going to have so much fun with you, Smokin' Ronnie.
The Giants will continue after this game against Dallas. They will have their home opener September 20th. They will play host to the Atlanta Falcons in Week 2.
Yeah, they play back-to-back home games. They got Atlanta and then Washington coming in the
Oh,
following
I
week.
remember what happened last year.
And you want to know
too.
something? And you want to know something? Which is kind of cool. That next game after the Washington game is kind of like a home game, too. They're playing the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. It's in New York. It's only a freaking bus ride. Come on. So that's like a home game, too. You know a lot of Giant fans will travel up there. So basically, if you look at it, they really got 1, 2, 3, 4 home games in a row before they go to Philadelphia, because after Buffalo, they got home against the 49ers, and then they go to Philadelphia Monday night of football, October 19th. The New York Football Giants will take on the crappy Philadelphia Eagles.
Well, I do have to point this out, Jeff, before we have to speed this up. Double A has always pointed out that history with bets has been on my side because I've always beat Jeff.
That's why I'm not betting Double A no more. I'm betting Browning instead. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop betting with Double A, and I'm going to bet with Browning instead.
It will continue for the Giants. Then they'll host the Dallas Cowboys October 25th.
Uh-huh. And then after that Giant game, they go to freaking New Orleans to take on Shaba Saints. Hey, Shaba, we got to have a little bet on that game too, don't we, buddy?
Yeah.
Don't we, buddy? Yes, I think we do.
Then at the Buccaneers, and then at home against the New England Patriots.
Yeah, so we're going to have a bet on that game, my friend.
Oh, gosh.
You know we're going to.
Boy. Bets were really bad to me. I had to put all my stuff away for a while.
I know. You know we're going to. And then they go to the Redskins, and then they go to, and then they're home against the Jets.
An all New York battle there for the key to the city of New York.
Yeah, I think the Giants will win this one. Second year under the new offensive coordinator. Let's hope they learn something. And then they got the rainbow flag-ish logo Dolphins. I hate that logo. And then they got Carolina and then Minnesota, and then they end the season against the Eagles.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
How about that? Hey, let's run to our first break of the day. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Sean Mann on
Sports World Radio.
Louisville.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think.
Synergistic integration.
Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Really quick, before we go to Skippy quotes, I wanted to go to the Denver Broncos schedule because Sean and I were talking about it during the break. They have a tough schedule starting at week number 8. Listen to this. Denver's got Green Bay, Indy, KC, Chicago, New England, and San Diego. 6 hellish games. Green Bay, Indy, KC, Chicago, New England, and San Diego. 6 hellish games.
I'm going to say on this day, even before we get to the NFL Real Talk, when that comes in September, I'm going to say right there, that will be the Broncos season.
Yes, I think so too. And I like to see the Broncos 1-5, 0-6, 2-4 would be nice during that stretch. Okay. I don't see him beating Green Bay. And I don't see him beating it's at San Diego. So they do beat San Diego a lot. So that's a tough, grueling schedule right there. And we'll talk about some more schedules tomorrow on the show in the first hour as well before Frank comes on. But we got Ron Gallo's definitely coming in the second hour of the show today. I've already spoken to him. He's coming in for sure. So I know that the producer wants to do this. So let's do it, Sean.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. Skippy came off with a lot of quotes today, and he said a lot of things on First Take today. And that would be, I'm going to go right there because he's sending me so many of them. Skippy said that he loves the NFL schedule.
Okay. What's there to love about it?
Because he believes that there's going to be great matchups, and he's going to enjoy watching my team this and my team. Oh, look who's here. Wes just popped in.
Oh, Wes.
Wes?
Hey, Wes. Hey, Wes. I need your ass out here in San Diego for the Monday, October 12th football game. Chargers, Steelers, San Diego. You come. We both go to the game together.
Wes, I have to tell you something, too.
Come on, bitch.
What happened, Wes, with the Pittsburgh Penguins?
They won last night, though. They won. Series is tied 2-2. I watched the game.
Capitals.
Huh?
It was the Capitals that beat the Islanders last night.
Yeah,
I don't think the Rangers played last night.
No, but Pittsburgh won the other night. Tie the series up. So they're playing again tonight, right?
They play tonight. It's Game 4. The Rangers won Game 3, 2-1.
So it's 2-1. It's 2-1 Washington, right? Rangers, right?
Yeah, you're thinking of the Capitals,
I'm thinking of the Capitals.
And
You're right.
the Islanders.
You're right. I am thinking of the Capitals and the Islanders. So the Rangers are going to the Rangers are pretty much going to say goodnight to the Penguins tonight. But, hey, I want you out here for the football game. I want you out here for the Chargers-Penguin game, the Monday night football game. If you say you're coming, and you show me your plane ticket, I will buy the tickets. You won't have to buy I will buy the tickets. Just get out here. You can crash at my place. It's not going to matter.
So come on, save up for it, Wes. He even says this, hey, Jeff, tonight we tie it up.
I will, Wes. Don't worry about that. You bet your sweet petunias I'll bring it.
And watch out for Wes when he wears Pittsburgh gear in Jeff's studio.
That's okay. No, he's allowed to wear it. You know what? We'll do the show Monday night. We'll do the show Monday, and then as soon as the show is over, we'll head right to the freaking stadium. We'll be at the stadium in 20 minutes after the show's over.
Wes says you bring the weed.
I know. I said I will.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say the whole thing, dude.
I'm kidding. All right. Skippy came out and said that he's excited for the New England Patriots and Dallas Cowboys this upcoming season.
I'm sure he is. Stupid ass. But my Patriots, my Cowboys.
Skippy said today on his show that he wasn't impressed by the Chicago Blackhawks' performance of now and late.
Hey, Wes, I say you don't go to the Baltimore game and you go to the Charger game instead and come out here and see San Diego. Get out here the day before the game, see San Diego, check it out. You stay at my place. We'll have some fun. We'll go. I'll take you around, show you San Diego. We'll have some fun. We'll do the show Monday. We'll go to the game Monday night, and you can leave Tuesday morning. In and out.
I'm sure Jeff could help you with the airline deals there, Wes.
You get your ticket. I'll get the tickets for the game. We'll have some fun.
So save up for it, Wes.
That's right. And you know what, Wes? We're not even going to have to drive to the game. We'll take the trolley. They'll take us right to the game, and we'll take the trolley home. It'll cost us $5 a piece round trip.
I'd say he's probably in for it.
We'll have a blast, man. You wear your freaking your Steelers jersey. I'll wear my sister's Chargers jersey. She's got a bitchin' Chargers jersey. I'll wear that. We'll have some fun. We'll have a blast, man.
What happens if Wes says to you, "Hey, Jeff, I'm in your studio. I didn't like what I saw, and I'm going to rip the officials if we lose"?
Well, I hate to tell you something. He's not going to be doing the show with me on Tuesday unless he stays. If he wants to stay Tuesday and do the show with me Tuesday, that's fine too. And then we can talk about all the fun we had on Monday.
That's up to you, Wes.
And then he can bitch and moan, complain about all the referees he wants. Problems, because that's all he ever bitch and moans and complains about is other people's problems. Oh, it's never the Steelers' problems. It's always somebody else.
All right, so Skippy came out and he said that he wasn't impressed by the Chicago Blackhawks.
Well, that's who's a what's a?
That's Josh's favorite hockey
Correct.
team. And
that's
Frank's.
Josh. Hey, Wes, I got the Steelers coming out here this year, and I got Chicago Bears coming out here. So I want to see Wes's fat ass out here this year, and I want to see that fat bastard, Josh, the producer of the show, and the other fat rat bastard, Frank Sprankle, out here for that game, too. We'll have some fun.
Skippy Bayless came out and said that my Dallas Cowboys got an easy schedule this year.
No, they didn't. Did they? I didn't look at their schedule. What does their schedule look like?
Let's see. We already went over their schedule. We already talked about how they host the Giants the first night of the season.
Yeah, well, they're going to lose that game. Let me see. Loss. They'll probably beat Philadelphia. They'll probably beat Atlanta. They'll lose to New Orleans. They'll lose to New England. They'll lose to the Giants. They'll lose to Seattle. They'll probably beat Philadelphia. They'll beat Tampa Bay. They'll beat Miami. They'll lose to Carolina. They'll lose to Washington. They'll lose to Green Bay. They'll beat the Jets. They'll beat Buffalo, and they'll lose to Washington again.
So what are you saying? Like a 6-10 team this year,
That's what
Jeff,
I
for the
say.
Cowboys?
That's what I say. 6-10. I was watching that channel that I don't like to mention on my show, and somebody was saying that they're going to be 12-4. What are you, smoking dope? 12-4? Where do you see that? I don't see that at all.
Skippy, how about this? He came out and he said that, you know what? My New York Giants, they will miss the playoffs this year.
No, they won't. And stop calling them my New York Giants because they're not yours, so shut the hell up. No, they won't. Listen, it's Eli Manning's final year on his contract. Second season under his belt with this new offense. He's got Victor Cruz coming back. They just got Shane Vereen as a running back, stole him from freaking New England. Okay, they got Beckham Jr. on the other side, and they also picked up somebody else that I can't remember off the top of my head, another wide receiver. So I would sit there and shut up, Skippy, and just wait. Just wait. They need to fix their defense a little bit, and I'm sure they addressed that as well.
Skippy Bayless said that Pablo Sandoval reminds him of Charles Barkley.
Yeah, fat and stupid.
Strikeout meter 12 for Pablo Sandoval.
The strikeout, the fat bastard strikeout meter's at 12?
That is correct.
Yes, exactly, Shaba. How crazy is that? 12-4. Get the hell out of here.
Skippy would agree with that. You know, he would say, oh, yeah, Cowboys will be 12-4. You're going to look at a great team. great quarterback and a great offensive system. Watch them roll.
Yeah, too bad 12-4 won't get you into the playoffs in the NFC.
He probably would debate you and say, didn't they go 12-4 last year and make the playoffs?
Yeah, but it's a different hey, it's not last year anymore, you dumbass.
Skippy Bayless said that Dikembe Mutombo is not worth being a Hall of Famer in the NBA.
I think he is. He changed the game at some point, didn't he?
Sure did. He turned some teams around. He was big with the Denver Nuggets and the job that he did there when he got Denver deeper into the playoffs in May of '94, and then they Atlanta Hawks.
He changed the game around. He was the big guy before Shaq was there.
And he waved that finger, and he would get a technical foul, but he would just say, "Don't do it in front of me."
Look at Shaba. He says the Cowboys are going 7-9 without a running back.
Skippy Bayless said that Charles Barkley should read off the draft selections and the NFL draft.
That's terrible. That's terrible. That's a terrible pick. A terrible pick. I can't stand Charles Barkley. He's always got to say something about Charles Barkley and his freaking...
Just to annoy you.
Yeah. Stop talking about... I'll tell you what. I'll give you a cookie if you don't talk about Charles Barkley or Jerry Jones for one day.
I don't think he can do it. I think he has something for him.
I'll tell you what there, Mr. Bayless. If you don't talk about Charles Barkley or Jerry Jones for one day, I won't bash you that day. How about that? Is that fair? Hey, we're going to run to our first update of the day. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the first update of the day.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. 45 minutes after the hour, it is Wednesday, April 22nd, 2015. In the NHL, here is the situation for tonight's action. The Montreal Canadiens at the Ottawa Senators. Here's the situation. Ottawa wins tonight. They will move on to the semifinals. If Ottawa wins, Game 5 will be back in Montreal. The New York Rangers, they will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins tonight in the Eastern Conference playoff action. The Rangers lead this series 2-1 after they prevailed 2-1 to take home ice away from the Pittsburgh Penguins. If the Penguins win, that series will be tied at 2-2. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the Winnipeg Jets right now later tonight. That is on the USA Network. Anaheim, they lead that series 3-0 with the chance to wrap it up and move on to the semifinals. The St. Louis Blues, they're taking on the Minnesota Wild tonight. Minnesota has protected home ice to this point. They lead 2-1. In the National Basketball Association playoffs, the Nets taking on the Hawks. Right now, the Hawks lead that series 1-0. That game starts in 14 minutes. That game can be seen on NBA TV. The Trailblazers at the Grizzlies. Right now, the Trailblazers, they trail 1-0 in the best of 7 to Memphis. And the Los Angeles Clippers, they will host the San Antonio Spurs. They lead that series 1-0. Both of those games, the Portland-Memphis game and the San Antonio-Los Angeles Clippers game, can be seen on TNT. Major League Baseball. Here's the action from this afternoon. One final today. The Chicago White Sox, they prevailed by a score of 6-0 against the Indians. Wednesday Night Baseball on ESPN will feature the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Washington Nationals. You've also got the Miami Marlins taking on the Philadelphia Phillies, the Cubs at the Pirates, Orioles taking on the Blue Jays, the Yankees at the Tigers, Braves at the Mets, Red Sox taking on the Rays, Twins at the Royals, Reds at the Brewers, Padres at the Rockies, Rangers at the Diamondbacks, Athletics taking on the Angels, Astros at the Mariners, and lastly, it'll be the Dodgers taking on the Giants. This is the first of 2 updates. This update was brought to you by Flipper at flipperflipper.com. When we come back from this commercial break and update, we will have more of the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, and Ron Gallo is expected to come in for the top of the hour to talk about the NHL playoffs. Be right back after this commercial break.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Eskow, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Really quick, before we get back to the Skippy quotes, wide receiver Greg Jennings is signing a 2-year deal with Miami, and the Bengals have announced they signed head coach Marvin Lewis to a 1-year contract extension running through 2016. Your thoughts, Sean?
Thoughts about Lewis? It's a good move for the Bengals because they like what he's done. But the big thing with the Bengals is that can they finally win a playoff game? Can they just, because we've seen it the last few years that he takes the Bengals there and he's trying to win a playoff game and end a long playoff drought because Cincinnati has not won a playoff game since January of 1991. And for the Dolphins, they're just trying to improve and get to be a tough team in the AFC East.
Yes. Interesting, isn't it?
Skippy Bayless, 51 minutes after the hour, he said that he should be the referee for the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight on May 2nd.
Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. Yeah.
You know the rules for boxing, Skippy?
Yeah, whatever, dude. Whatever you say, sure. Anything you say. You're so smart.
Skippy Bayless said that he will beat Roman Reigns in a last man standing match.
Yeah, you're an idiot, dude. You know what? That's stupid. That's one of the stupidest things I ever heard you say because you can't freaking even wrestle. So why you even say stuff like that? You're not a wrestler, so shut up. Shut up!
Skippy Bayless said that he's the messiah of journalism.
No, he's not. You're a moron. That's what you are. Anybody that has to promote themselves and tell people what they think they are aren't really good, are they? What's the matter? You can't come up with their own opinion? Louisville. Can't come up with your own opinion? Louisville. Huh? Dumbass.
Skippy Bayless said that my Boston Red Sox need to hit better.
Oh, now they need to hit better? The other day you were saying, don't worry, they'll be fine. Now you say they need to hit better? Make up your goddamn mind.
And Skippy, why don't you shut your yap about Boston Red Sox? They're not your favorite team.
You change your mind more than a woman changes her tampon when she's on her period.
Skippy Bayless said that David Ortiz should have been suspended for a week. I come back and I say, again, shut your yap.
No, got suspended for one game. That was enough. suspended and fined.
Suspend him 1 game. He'll learn his lesson because he bumped an Empire. So shut your yap.
Suspended and fined.
Gosh, you just say some of the stupidest things.
That's what
Skippy Bayless said that my New England Patriots will be undefeated.
At least till they get to the Giants.
Oh, no. Oh, I knew that was coming.
At least till they get to the Giants, and then when they play the Giants, they're going to lose.
Skippy Bayless said that my Nashville Predators jerseys are beautiful and wonderful.
Oh, those things are the ugliest freaking things I've ever seen in my life. Are you kidding me, dude? Are you colorblind or what?
Skippy Bayless said that my Pittsburgh Steelers, Pirates, and Penguins will rebound and win.
No. It's not going to happen.
Hey, Inky, good to see you.
Not going to happen. Just don't even play that number with me.
Skippy Bayless said that my show, First Take, it should win an Oscar award.
Who?
He said that First Take should win an Oscar award.
First Take will never win an Oscar award as long as you're on the show. Because you suck. You're the worst goddamn sports broadcast I've ever seen in my life.
Skippy Bayless said that he should join, that he's the John Lennon of sports voices.
Yeah, whatever, dude. You sound like a girl. You gyrate so much. What the hell's the matter with you? Can't you sit still for 2 seconds?
Skippy said that Vince McMahon doesn't hold a candle to any sports or entertainment companies.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Sure. That's why he's outranking all of them, and he's the only one in the wrestling business because he's freaking knows what he's doing. He's buying up all the freaking wrestling people and wrestling freaking companies. And one company out there is still trying to compete with them, and they can't even get shows live on TV. They have to tape all the shows. Get the hell out of here. Who the hell wants to watch that crap?
Skippy Bayless said that Charles Barkley should replace Scotty Brooks as head coach. Be the new head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
If they did that, they would be... Okay, you want to know something? If they did that, they'd end up worse of a season that they had now, and they'd probably end up within a top 5 draft pick. That's how bad they would be. Hey, Josh, you better watch out. Inky's coming to Chicago for the pay-per-view. She's going to be looking for your ass now.
And lastly, for the final Skippy quote, Skippy Bayless said that the Cavaliers will easily sweep the Chicago Bulls in the semifinals.
That's not going to happen. They're not going to sweep them. In fact, the Chicago Bulls are going to beat them.
Josh and I had a conversation about that, too, saying the Cavs are not really as good as you think, Sean. They only beat your favorite team, the Boston Celtics, last night by 8 points. They should have blown them out a lot
Exactly. They only beat the Celtics by 8 points. You can't play that well. You can't play that way against the Chicago Bulls and expect to win. The Chicago Bulls are a better team than the Boston Celtics. You play like you play against the Boston Celtics, Chicago's going to sweep your ass.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. And if you can't see that, then you don't deserve to be a sports broadcaster. Because anybody can see that. Even Inky can see that. She don't like basketball that much. She loves women's college basketball. Even she can see that. Dumbasses.
But Skippy believes it. He believes, hey, the Cavs have it all to win the NBA championship.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Hey, they're barely beating the freaking Celtics.
Yes.
Okay? They're barely beating a 7th-seeded team. What's going to happen when they play a 3rd-seed team? Like the Chicago Bulls.
What are you going to say then, Skippy?
Exactly. No, he's not, Inky. Don't listen to what he says. Inky says, you better be nice to me or I'll hunt you down. And then Josh goes, I'm a classy young gentleman. No, he's not.
All right, that's the end of the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour. We got 3 minutes before we get to the top of the hour break. Jeff, I got another big story for you. This came from the NBA, and we go right to it now. The Oklahoma City Thunder have decided to make a decision, which was they fired head coach Scotty Brooks today.
How many weeks ago did you say that?
A couple weeks.
And I kept saying no. Why would they? Because of the hurt. You know what? I want to see Phil Jackson fire freaking
Derek Fisher
and hire Scotty Brooks.
And it would be a great move for the New York Knicks, too. They would get rid of Derek Fisher and then bring in Scotty Brooks because of his experience.
That's exactly what I want to see. I want to see Derek Fisher get fired and Scotty Brooks come in. But I know that's not going to happen.
So now you look at an Oklahoma City Thunder team looking for a new head coach and a new transition, and you wonder, where will they head and how will this team be next year?
Well, from what I'm seeing, they're looking at Donovan from Florida.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Not one bit. There's plenty of head coaches that aren't coaching right now that can coach that team.
With the Thunder, though, it ended poorly for them. You were shocked by it. Actually, I had called it a couple weeks ago that he would lose his job. But you could still be surprised, too, that he was going to be let go like that, especially the job he did taking the Oklahoma City Thunder to the NBA Finals in 2012, only to end up losing in 5 games to Miami.
Yeah, I know, but what are you going to do?
Kevin Durant was shocked by this. He goes, quote, he led us, man. I mean, Durant said of Brooks. He goes, quote, he made sure everybody was emotionally stable because we had a lot of guys in and out of the lineup, and he kept everybody together. That's what your head coach is supposed to do. Quote, I can't really say nothing about it because he did his job. He kept us together.
Hey, you want to know something? I'm going to bust Ron's chops when he gets on the show today. He put something on. He tagged me in a post on Facebook just now. Says, looks like Jeff Escow might have a new athlete in sport to cheer for. ... LOL. And the picture is Cristiano Ronaldo prefers LA if he makes MLS move. Listen, Mr. Ron Gallo. I won't talk about soccer. We hardly ever talk about soccer. And I don't give a flying fig Newton what Ronaldo does at all. So, with that being said, you're wrong.
And with that being said, too, we have to go to the top of the hour commercial break.
And we're going to bring in that rat bastard, Ron Gallo, when we come back from commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow, Shaw Man on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
My mother made the best toffee in the world. It's delicious. So now we've turned her toffee into a business. My goal was to take an idea and make it happen. I'm Janet Long, and I formed my toffee company through LegalZoom. I never really thought I would make money doing what I love.
We created LegalZoom to help people start their business and launch their dreams. Go to LegalZoom.com today and make your business dream a reality. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey, Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio, boys and girls. Sean Mann, Jeff Escow bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. And now, it is Wednesday. It is the second hour of the show, and you all know what that means. Sports World Radio's own hockey guru, the Canadian Connection, Ron Gallo. What's up, buddy?
Hey, it's the start of week number 2 of the postseason in the NHL. That's what it is today.
Yeah, you missed Wes in here a little bit earlier, pushing his Pittsburgh's Penguins on all of us.
Well, I'm just going to say for Wes, a huge game tonight. Pittsburgh have got to come up with a win. They've already proven me wrong, which is perfectly fine. Like I said, I would prefer that it was Pittsburgh over the New York Rangers anyways, but the Pittsburgh Penguins just don't have the depth this year. They remind me a lot of the Vancouver Canucks, who are struggling against the Calgary Flames. But if Pittsburgh can tie this series up, it now becomes a best of 3, and anything can happen when you start getting down into those 1-1 type games. And that's what's going to happen after tonight. It'll be 1-1-1.
Yeah, well, I think the Rangers just take total control tonight.
They need to. They don't want to give the Pittsburgh Penguins any breathing room. Otherwise, like you said, Ron, anything can happen then when it's a best of 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, there's 2 series that are on the verge of sweeps, and one of them is just getting underway tonight in Canada, in the nation's capital, in Canada's capital, the city of Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators are going to be hosting their second of 2 in a row against the Montreal Canadiens. They came out flying. I don't know if you guys had a chance to watch any of these playoffs that are going on, but if you want to see a rock'em sock'em rough series, Ottawa and Montreal have not been disappointing, that's for sure. Some 97 hits thrown in a game. Remember, in a regular season, the average is just over 50. In the playoffs, the average is just over 60. And they had 57 hits through 4 periods, through 40 minutes, through 2 periods in game number 3. The Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens have really been putting on quite the show. That game ended up going into a situation into overtime where Dale Weiss ended up winning it for the Montreal Canadiens, and surprised me because I honestly thought Ottawa was going to win Game 3. Montreal finds themselves on the verge of eliminating the Ottawa Senators with a 3-0 series lead tonight. Game about to get underway in Ottawa.
Hey,
I feel.
You know that Canadian Ottawa game is on States on the USA Network.
No way.
Yeah.
You guys got to check it out if you can catch it.
But it's but unfortunately, the NBC Sports Channel 65, which used to be the Versus channel here, but now it's NBC Sports, has the Rangers Penguins game on.
Well, and that's the one that a lot of people obviously in the States are going to be watching because it is New York.
Correct.
This series between Montreal and Ottawa, though, Ron, is pretty much over because it's 3-0. They've got it in control. Any chance tonight that Ottawa just wins a game just to avoid being embarrassed in an easy sweep?
Well, I mean, it's not a hockey cliche. It's a sports cliche, especially in the postseason. The hardest game to win is the game that will eliminate your opponent. So Montreal has got to be ready for everything to be thrown at them. And you know what? You're looking at numbers, Sean. You're looking at numbers, and that's unfair to the Ottawa Senators, who have done a yeoman's job and have been in all 3 games and have lost 2 of them in overtime. Honestly, this series should be a 2-1 series at best. So, I mean, hockey god smiling on the Montreal Canadiens right now, that could end up biting them in the butt come round 2, to be honest with you. If they think going into round 2, let's say Montreal does get past Ottawa, whether it's tonight or in a couple of nights from now, if Montreal thinks that it's going to be a cakewalk in round 2, they could be in for an even bigger surprise than what they got with the Ottawa Senators.
Another series that's really been interesting and competitive. I thought of you last night, Jeff. This one went overtime up in New York City. The Washington Capitals are able to escape the overtime game with a 2-1 triumph, and this series is tied at 2 games apiece. What do you both think of this series?
Well, you know what? I must be getting old because I could barely stay up till the end of that game. That one went into triple overtime, you guys, and the final score was 2-1. You can't get closer than that.
What did you think, Jeff? The Capitals and the Islanders tied at 2 games apiece.
I don't like that. I want the Islanders to knock the Capitals out and get it over and done with already.
It's going to be tough. That was their chance. Now the Islanders are facing elimination also when they head back because right now it's a 2-2 series tie. Let's correct myself here. New York Islanders' best shot at all of this was winning last night's game in overtime and having a 3-1 series lead heading back to Washington. Now they go back to Washington, and I hate to say this, but check your paperwork. I said Washington in 6, and the cards are playing out almost perfectly for the Washington Capitals to do exactly that. Win Game 5 back home, go back into New York against the Islanders onto Long Island, and come away with the road victory. And you know what? The Washington Capitals will be advancing and waiting for the next opponent in round 2.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now, Ron. You do have the Capitals winning this series in 6 games. Your prediction is very close to happening. And I know, Jeff, with you don't want to see Alexander Ovechkin win the Cup or even win a playoff series. You want to see him get booted out.
Correct. I don't want to see him win at all, man. I don't like that son of a bitch. I want to see him get knocked out right away. Just because you score 50 goals every season don't mean you're a great hockey player if you can't win in the playoffs.
And I'll go back to what I said a week ago Wednesday night, and that is if the New York Islanders are to get by Washington, it's not a case of getting under the skin of Alexander Ovechkin. He's got a lot of bulk to him. He can handle his own. It's about breaking down any kind of bond that they have as far as team goes. The Washington Capitals will turn into a very individual effort. There won't be a lot of team effort and a lot of team being on display if the Washington Capitals are down on the scoreboard. If they score the first goal or if they're leading, they'll play with their lead and they'll play perfectly fine. But if you get them to the point where they're hungry for a goal, they will become very individual, and they're very beatable when they do that. And that's the knock because of Alexander Ovechkin.
How about this series, too, Ron? We go to the another Eastern Conference matchup. You called this, and you said that the Red Wings would easily take care of the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games. You're close to getting this prediction right for the series. Detroit, easy game last night, shutting out the Lightning 3-0.
Yeah, again, scoreboard watching, it looks easy. Tampa Bay, I told you, their problem was going to be from behind the blue line back to the net. They have not looked good against Detroit. Yeah, they won the first game. I fully expected that. That's the momentum of starting on home ice. But the Detroit Red Wings are just one of those teams. They've got way too much playoff experience. Quick trivia question for you. How many consecutive years has Detroit been in the postseason, you guys?
You said that it was, I think you even said it last Wednesday. I'll say 24 consecutive years.
Very good. Good memory there, buddy. But yeah, 24 consecutive years that the Detroit Red Wings have been into the postseason. Some of those years they've hoisted a Stanley Cup. Some of those years they've been eliminated early in the postseason. But you know what? You cannot discredit what showing up in the postseason year after year after year will do for the players in that dressing room. And when it comes time to buckle down and get the job done, everybody knows how hard that work is going to be. And the Detroit Red Wings back home against the Tampa Bay Lightning, I expect them to go up 3-1 after the next time these two teams meet.
What can Tampa Bay do, Ron, to come back and even this series up? What can they do?
They got to focus on their strengths, and their strengths are up front. And Steven Stamkos has to step up and be his team's captain, and he's got to lead by example. It's going to come down to offense versus experience, really. The Tampa Bay Lightning have got to where they are because they were scoring goals. They didn't become a President's Trophy candidate or potential winner at the end of the season. They lost that to the New York Rangers, but they didn't end up in that position without doing the right things. 50 wins on the year. You know, you look at the teams that are into the postseason right now. There is only one other team that has, well, two actually, but only one other one in the Eastern Conference that has more than 50 wins, and that, of course, is your President's Cup trophy winners, the New York Rangers.
The next series we move to a Western Conference matchup. Ron, you're very close to getting another one correct. Chicago Blackhawks. This was a classic game. It went triple overtime last night with the Blackhawks taking a commanding 3-1 lead against the Nashville Predators with Game 5 back in Nashville.
Yeah, and you know, that's another series. I mean, Chicago's got tons of experience and Nashville does not. Nashville's also, don't forget, Nashville's missing a couple of key players. They don't have Mike Fisher. They don't have Shea Weber on the blue line. Now, a team is made up of more than one or two players. We all know that. We all say that. But there are marquee players in every team's lineup. And if they're not in the lineup, somebody has to step up and fill those shoes. And if you don't have somebody capable of doing it, in a 7-game series, it's just natural attrition, and the better team is going to come out on top. Nashville may win one more, but I see Chicago advancing past Nashville for sure.
Pittsburgh just scored in the first quarter. It's 1-0 Pittsburgh already.
Looks like they scored 2 minutes in, too, so it's a nice early goal for Pittsburgh. Wes will be happy. Laura will be happy.
Bastards.
How about this Western Conference matchup? The Flames and the Canucks. Flames lead this series 3-1.
For me, not a surprise. What did I put Flames down in 5?
I'm checking your picks right now, Ron. You do have the Flames in 5 games.
This does not come as a shock or a surprise to me whatsoever. The Vancouver Canucks have been riding the Sedin twins for far too many years now. They haven't really gone out and got any more depth. They suffered another huge blow the other night. Alex Burrows was involved in game number 3 in a bit of a skirmish. And this is kind of, whenever you hear people talking, especially Canadians, about the hockey gods, this is the kind of stuff that they're referring to. So Alex Burrows gets in as the second man in or the third man into a fight and should have actually received a couple of game suspension, one for sure. He doesn't get that. The next day, the NHL rescinds any possibility of a suspension for Alex Burrows. They go and they hit the ice the next day, which was yesterday, for a pregame skate, and Alex Burrows cracks a rib.
Just pretty much with the Canucks, they just don't have it.
They don't.
They look sloppy. They don't move the puck around. They don't have good scoring. And I know Vancouver fans are probably going to get ready to start another riot because they've been so fed up with it, just like they were in 2011, where the misery continues to hit them for the postseason.
You know, there's no place in this game for that kind of stuff, whether it be in the arena or outside of the arena. And I've been hearing some stories about different incidences involving opponents' fans in the home team's rink. That's got to stop. But let's go back again just real quickly for the Vancouver Canucks. Ryan Miller was hurt. In the last 27 games that the Canucks played, Ryan Miller played 1 game. That was the season finale against the Edmonton Oilers, the team that we'll get to this in a moment here, Jeff. You'll want to know about the NHL draft lottery and who won it. But the Vancouver Canucks won that game by a slim margin of 6-5. 6-5. Ryan Miller was in net for that. They went with Eddie Lack to start the postseason. They split the first 2 at home. Now they are obviously down 3-1 after 4 games. And the losses are all on Eddie Lack. He was pulled after allowing 3 goals on 7 shots. Ryan Miller came in relief to start the second period. Calgary Flames did not score in the second or the third period, but neither did the Vancouver Canucks. So that was the final score. What I wanted to say is if the Vancouver Canucks have any chance, any hope of getting into this series again, They must win their next game against the Calgary Flames with Ryan Miller between the pipes.
Ron, just real quickly, Jeff, we are a little bit behind. We have to go to a commercial break.
All right, let's run to our quarter of the hour commercial break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Jeff Escott, Showman, and Ron Gallo on
Sports World Radio.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association's START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escott, Showman, and Ron Gallo talking hockey this hour of Sports World Radio. Where are we up to now, guys?
All right, the next series we're going to get to, Ron, that we talk about. How about the Minnesota Wild and the St. Louis Blues? Minnesota leads this series 2-1.
I'm trying to remember who I picked in that round, but I think I went with Minnesota, actually.
Yes, you did. You picked the Wild in 6 games.
This series should be evened up here. If it doesn't even up, St. Louis isn't going to go down 4-1. It'll get to 6 games for sure, but I see Minnesota Wild coming out of this one. St. Louis just has too many issues, and they haven't been able to recover from them all. But they're going to shake up some lines to what they were seeing just after the All-Star break. So they're going to try and move some players around and see if they can generate the chemistry that they had when they were winning. You got to remember, in the last couple of weeks before the end of the regular season, they were struggling a little bit, and the only reason why they finished as high as they did was because they had so much momentum moving through the heart of the season. They had all of those early season wins, all of those wins through the middle of the season, and then they just kind of coasted through to the postseason. So the Blues are going to try and shake things up and see whether or not they can get back into it. But the Minnesota Wild, they have the momentum right now. So, like I said, Minnesota's going to take this one, but I don't know that they'll take it in like 4-1. I think it's going to be a 4-2 series for the Minnesota Wild. I see St. Louis either winning the next game or the game after that.
Another series that pretty much is close to being over with. The Anaheim Ducks tonight have a chance to finish off the Winnipeg Jets. They lead this series 3-0.
Which is extremely unfortunate, not just for the Winnipeg Jets, but it's unfortunate for West Coast hockey fans and really hockey fans anywhere. This is one of those series that have been being played out, and it is so emotional. It is so intense. It's a Cinderella-type story. It's got every ingredient that you need to create a hockey fan. If you get a chance to watch these series or even go back and look at the highlights, hopefully the highlight reel will do it justice. The interesting thing about this, the Winnipeg Jets have led through 40 minutes in all 3 games and lost the games in the third period. So the Anaheim Ducks have come back all 3 times to win those games in the final 20 minutes. And in one case, they won it with 29 seconds remaining in regulation time.
The Ducks are just, they got too much. And I even said before the series began that Winnipeg would have a very difficult time trying to beat them. The Ducks, if I'm looking at a Western Conference final matchup, I think everybody would like this matchup. The Ducks taking on the Blackhawks in a really cool and awesome series.
And I still think that's what it's going to come down to. I think it is going to come down to the Ducks, and I think it is going to come down to the Blackhawks. But again, like what I really want to emphasize, if you have an opportunity, I posted it on that Sports Fanatics Facebook page that Jeff was talking about earlier. But the Winnipeg Jets fan base, that city came to an absolute standstill for the start of Game 3. There was no cars on the freeway. There was nothing but a sea of white inside the MTS Center, which is the home of the Winnipeg Jets. That place was rocking from the opening faceoff through to the final whistle. And the Winnipeg Jets, despite the loss, still got a very large cheer from their fans because they did bring postseason hockey back to Winnipeg. It's completely unfortunate that things are unraveling for the Winnipeg Jets so late in the game, and that's taking a toll on some of the players. And I'm not sure if you know this, but Dustin Byfuglien was on the post-game interviews pulling the best Marshawn Lynch that you could come up with. The same answer for every question that he was asked.
And it's just great, though, to see that Winnipeg finally gets to see playoff hockey and that they give the team a big, loud reception. Even though they lost, like you pointed out, the overtime, hopefully maybe in the years to come, we'll see a lot more of the Winnipeg Jets maybe for the foreseeable future in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they'll build on this. I mean, they're going to lick their wounds here in next week when they end up losing this series. They'll be licking their wounds. But then they'll be able to look back and see where the things that went right, and where they can make some improvements. And there'll be a couple of player changes. They might move out one player, but nothing significant. I think the most significant move, and I don't know that it'll happen, they might end up moving Dustin Byfuglien. But other than that, they've got so much going on for them.
They do, and hopefully we'll see maybe more of them. But who knows and stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on in the National Hockey League. So that kind of covers the series. Ron, a question, is there anything else for major headlines you want to get to for the NHL?
Well, there's a couple of things. I don't know that they're major headlines, but there's a couple of things. There's always a story that comes out of the NHL postseason that is just like, oh my God, like really? Going back to the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks for a second there, Michael Furland is getting a lot of press right now because of the journey that he's been on. This was a player that was down and out, suffering from alcoholism, decided to take that path of sobriety, and now you look at him and he is probably single-handedly the most important player on that Calgary Flames lineup. And the thing is that he's only had a plus-minus of 1. He only has 4 shots on goal. He only has a single point, and that's an assist. Yet the Vancouver Canucks cannot figure out Michael Furland. He is big. He's not a big player, but he plays big. He plays tough. They hear his footsteps when he's coming, and they cough up the puck, and they cause all kinds of problems. Furland is only 23 years old, and he only turned 23. He just turned 23, and he's been sober for about 13 months, just over a year. It all happened when he was rehabilitating a knee injury, and it had nothing else to do. He used to play for the Abbotsford Heat, which is an American Hockey League franchise that is no longer in existence in Abbotsford, which is just outside the Lower Mainland of the province of BC. Anyways, long story short, if you get a chance to read about Michael Furland, this is one of those Cinderella-type stories for an individual player. It's not just for a team, but an individual player. And for sure, the team is rallying around what Furland is doing for them. Furland is opening up the ice. He's giving them more time and more space to work with, and it's causing nothing but grief for the Vancouver Canucks. He's getting underneath their skin, drawing needless penalties from the Vancouver Canucks. He is definitely one of those players. If Calgary was to go far enough into the postseason, he would be a candidate for the Conn Smythe Trophy.
The next story we get to in the NHL, Ron, this just kind of, I've been looking at another big story, and this one comes maybe as a little bit of a surprise. The Edmonton Oilers are expected to meet with ex-Boston Bruins general manager Peter Chiarelli. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts about that?
First of all, I'm going to tell you, you're going to the sports cap here before we get into that. Only you would find the Boston Bruins story in the Edmonton Oilers when they win the hockey lottery.
It's a story.
I know it's a story, and we'll cover both of them because there's a bigger story than Chiarelli right now coming out of Edmonton.
Sure. So a bigger story. I can't wait to hear what that one is.
Well,
I know we're not.
What do you say? What do you say we go to our final update of the day, and then we'll continue on the other side of the break?
Sure.
All right. Let's get to this update. This update is brought to you by The Flipper. Head on over to flipperflipper.com and get your Flipper today. Never, ever touch your toilet seat ever again. It's called The Flipper, and it's at flipperflipper.com. Take it away, Sean Mann, with the final update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Ron. 29 minutes after the hour on the 22nd of April, 2015. We start the second update, the last one in the NBA playoffs. Right now, a game already in progress. The Atlanta Hawks lead the Brooklyn Nets by a score of 22-15. 2 minutes, 47 seconds left in the first quarter. The Hawks lead this series 1-0. The Portland Trailblazers and the Memphis Grizzlies begin on TNT tonight. That game's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 5 p.m. Pacific. In this series, the Memphis Grizzlies lead the series 1-0. Following the Portland-Memphis game, it'll be San Antonio taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, with the Clippers leading the series 1-0. Tomorrow's action in the NBA goes like this. It'll be the Cavaliers at the Celtics. The Cavaliers have a commanding 2-0 lead. The Bulls, they have a commanding 2-0 lead in that series over the Milwaukee Bucks. And the same goes for the Golden State Warriors and the New Orleans Pelicans. The Cavaliers-Celtics game tomorrow is on TNT. The Bulls-Bucks game is on NBA TV. And lastly, the Warriors and the Pelicans, that game is on TNT. In the National Hockey League, here's the action we have right now in progress. The Montreal-Ottawa game right now, that game is tied at 0. You can watch that game on the USA Network. On the NBC Sports Network, the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing exactly what they need to do, and that is win Game 4 to tie this series up at 2 apiece. Pittsburgh leads 1-0, 9 minutes and 17 seconds remaining in the first period. The Anaheim Ducks taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Anaheim looking to go for the sweep, looking to move on to the second round. And lastly, it'll be St. Louis taking on Minnesota. That game is on the NBC Sports Network, with the Wild having a chance to go up 3-1, or St. Louis looking to even up the series at 2 games apiece. We move to Major League Baseball. A final from today, the Chicago White Sox over the Cleveland Indians by a score of 6-0. But here's other action we got going on right now at this very moment. The Cardinals lead the Nationals 3-0. That game is on ESPN. The Marlins and the Phillies, right now no score, but the Marlins are threatening with 2 on, 1 out. The Pirates and the Cubs, no score in that one. The Orioles and the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had a chance to score in the first, left a man stranded. They are batting now, the Toronto Blue Jays are, bottom of the second. Top of the first inning down in Detroit, the Yankees taking on the Tigers. Right now, the Yankees lead 2-0. The Red Sox and the Rays, right now the Rays lead 1-0. Other action tonight, you got the Braves at the Mets, Twins at the Royals, Reds at the Brewers, Padres at the Rockies, Rangers taking on the Diamondbacks, interleague play, Athletics at the Angels, Astros at the Mariners, and lastly, it'll be the Dodgers taking on the Giants. This final update is brought to you by The Flipper at flipperflipper.com. We're going to run to commercial break. When we come back from the commercial, more NHL hockey talk with Ron Gallo, Jeff Eskow, and Sean Mann.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Why does consultant Jerry Howell stay at La Quinta?
Can you come back tomorrow?
Because only with La Quinta can Jerry instant hold the room tonight using just his phone number. And then power down for tomorrow on his pillow top bed. And when Jerry's refreshed, you know what he does?
We need ideas, people. Think. Synergistic integration. Genius.
He thinks outside the box.
I'm going for it. No.
La Quinta Inns and Suites take care of you so you can take care of business. Instant hold your next stay on your smartphone at LQ.com.
La Quinta.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Pascal, Sean Mann, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. It is Wednesday. We are in the second hour. That means Ron Gallo's with us, and we are talking hockey. What do we got, guys?
We were going to touch on the bigger story than Peter Chiarelli being wined and dined by the Edmonton Oilers. Last Saturday was the NHL's lottery draft. What that means is that all of the teams that were not in the postseason have a chance, and it's on a depleting percentage based on how you finished in the standings. So obviously the last place team in the regular season has the best overall chance of getting the number one pick by winning the NHL's draft lottery. So anyways, they had the draft lottery, and unbelievably, the Edmonton Oilers won that draft lottery. They beat out the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Buffalo Sabres and the Arizona Coyotes to get their 4th in 6 years, their 4th number one pick since 2010 when they picked Taylor Hall, 2011 when they picked Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and 2012 when they picked Nail Yakupov. So now what they have is they have what's considered to be a generational player, the last one being Sidney Crosby back in 2005 or Alexander Ovechkin in 2004. Fast forward 10 years, and you're now looking at Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid has been an unbelievable player. He's born January 13th, 1997. He's 18 years old. This is his first draft-eligible year, and he has been nothing short of sensational in the OHL playing with the Erie Otters. So anyways, he knows that he's rated number one, and people are speculating and saying that when Edmonton was announced as winning the lottery, that his heart dropped. They could see it in his face. There was like a sudden shock. He comes from the Toronto area. He would have loved to have played in Toronto first, Buffalo second, Edmonton probably not high on his list. But since then, Connor McDavid has been saying the right things. Connor McDavid's dad has been saying the right things, and they are letting everybody know that he will be honored to play with the Edmonton Oilers. The bigger concern is, and now this is what I'm going to try and talk to you guys about, is that there is 3 recent number one picks in the Edmonton Oilers franchise right now, and a lot of people say that these players are losing their luster because of playing for the Edmonton Oilers. There is no supporting crew. They have gone with a rebuilding team since they ended up with that first overall pick back in 2010, and they continue to rebuild, but they continue to flounder in the bottom of the pool as far as the NHL regular season standings go. So you have all of this high caliber players, but there's no depth with that team, and now they're going to turn around and add another player. So there's a big fear that Connor McDavid may be going to what's now considered to be a wasteland. On the other side of the equation, you listen to Edmonton Oilers fans and Edmonton Oilers supporters, and they're now saying that this is the incarnation of Wayne Gretzky for the Edmonton Oilers, and they're expecting to see a number of cups hoisted within a couple of years. Go back to Sidney Crosby for a moment. It took 4 seasons, and Sidney Crosby was throwing up the first of 2 Stanley Cups above his head. So they are certainly hoping that it's not going to take 4 years. They want to see it in a couple of years. But Edmonton Oilers fans, I guess we have to wait another year through another year of rebuilding around Connor McDavid to see whether or not this team can get out of the bottom of the barrel and make themselves a respectable team in the NHL again.
That is true, and that would be that's why the lottery is such a big thing, Ron, because teams knowing that they got to figure out what they can do for scoring, what kind of picks can they make. It's always big, and I should have mentioned that was the bigger story than Peter Chiarelli. Thanks for correcting me on that.
No, but you know what, though, Sean? Part B of that equation would be Chiarelli's job if he's hired. Now, he is being wined and dined by the Edmonton Oilers, so let's give yourself some credit where credit is due. This is a big story for the Edmonton Oilers, because if you're going to end up putting together a Stanley Cup winning team in Edmonton, wouldn't you want a general manager that has done exactly that and put together a Stanley Cup winning team and a Stanley Cup contending team? Granted, they didn't make the postseason this year, but look back over the last couple of years, and the Boston Bruins have been a solid, scary team to play for. And that's in thanks to large part to Peter Chiarelli.
Peter Chiarelli has got the experience to take Edmonton, back to the playoff respectability, but he has a lot of work to do to change that Edmonton team around and try to get them deeper into the playoffs. Because, the way I look at it, it's been such a long time since they were so good. You're talking maybe back in the 80s, back when Wayne Gretzky played and the job he did.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers, you could go back maybe about 15 years, and they were
15.
They had respectability back then. They've lost it in the last 5 years. It's just gone downhill in Edmonton. Like, Edmonton's become the wasteland, and certainly that becomes a little bit of a scary proposition for these young kids that are getting an opportunity to start playing at the age of 18 and 19 in the NHL.
They are, and we'll see how well Peter Chiarelli does if he goes there to turn that team around and try to make the team successful. He did a great job with the Bruins, but the reason why the Bruins did let him go is, there were a lot of Bruin fans that wanted him canned. They wanted him gone because he didn't do a very good job, and the season ended very poorly for the Boston Bruins.
Okay, now there's another part to that whole equation.
Mm-hmm.
Todd McLellan has agreed to part ways with the San Jose Sharks earlier this week, and now Todd McLellan is being wined and dined by the Edmonton Oilers as well. So what you have now is you have a potential head coach in Todd McLellan, you have a potential general manager in Peter Chiarelli, and now the draft hasn't happened, so you only have a potential of having the next generational player in your lineup, and that being Connor McDavid. There are some people out there, and I guarantee you that they are not Edmonton Oilers fans, suggesting that the Edmonton Oilers should sell that first overall pick and go and pick up lots of experience. You could sell that pick to just about any team and find some depth for your own team to build around the 3 or 4 young players that you already have in the roster. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the course of probably the next couple of months, because of course the entry draft itself doesn't happen until later in the month of June. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in Edmonton land. The City of Champions, as they were called at one time, when Wayne Gretzky was hoisting all of those Stanley Cups, and his statue still sits on the steps of Rexall Place. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Edmonton. But yeah, it's a huge story right now in Edmonton because it is so deep. There's so many layers. Connor McDavid, Peter Chiarelli, and Todd McLellan.
That's true. That's so true indeed. Another story I wanted to get to, Ron, since we had to get those big stories out of the way. You were mentioning a little while ago about the NBA and the Toronto Raptors. With the NBA, I was just going to ask you, have you had a chance to check in with the Raptors and watch any of the NBA playoff games?
I can't sit through an entire basketball game. I'm just going to be honest with you. But,
yes.
You know, I've kind of caught bits and pieces and tail ends here and tail ends there in Toronto. Just real quickly, because you got either a commercial break to get to here. But Toronto's got their hands full with Washington. And the worst thing is that Toronto's got to win some games. They've got to do something. They were expected to get to at least the second round this year after having such an impressive regular season.
Jeff, real quickly, your thoughts on the Toronto Raptors?
Toronto Raptors, they got a little bit of a problem. If they don't start playing ball, they're going to be playing golf soon.
And Paul Pierce has always found his way to beat them. They always talk about last year when he was with Brooklyn. They beat Toronto in 7 games. He's doing the same thing, and it's going to be very tough for the Raptors to go into Washington, D.C., and win. That place is going to be loud. It's going to be wild. Wizards are playing some good basketball. But all I want to make sure, too, Ron, before we get to the final commercial break of the day, is to make sure that LeBron James stops winning. I'm tired of watching him.
You might have to get used to it. Isn't he the points leader right now?
He is the points leader, and he's driving me nuts, but I hope somebody other than him can win MVP and that he gets booted out.
Well, commercial break. We'll come back, and we'll still talk a little bit more about stats in the NHL.
All right, you're listening to Jeff Escow, Sean Mann, and Ron Gallo on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to the final segment here of Sports World Radio for Wednesday's show. You're listening to Jeff Escal, Sean Mann, every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, fellas, where are we going now?
Sean, you were talking about LeBron James and being the points leader for the NBA. I thought I would pull up some stats from the NHL. In the NHL, you're not going to get a player that's been in 3 or 4 games with no 30 points. You're in single digits for sure. Right now, the points leader has 6 points. But what I find more distressing for some teams is the lack of players. Right now, there are 46 players that have 3 or more points in the postseason. And surprisingly enough, there are some that are noticeably absent. There's very few players from the Vancouver Canucks. There's very few players from the Pittsburgh Penguins. There's very few players from even the New York Rangers, which is a little bit of a surprise for me myself that there's only 2 players and they both have 3 points for the New York Rangers. Somebody's got to step up. But you know who's missing completely?
Who?
The Tampa Bay Lightning.
The Lightning are?
Out of 46 players, there is 1 player, and you would never know he played for the Tampa Bay Lightning because he's an irrelevant player. Nikita Nesterov is the only Tampa Bay Lightning player in the top 46 of postseason performers in the NHL right now.
That's crazy.
No Steven Stamkos, nothing.
And that he is not, and that the Tampa Bay Lightning are not in there. That's kind of shocking and surprising, especially since they're in the playoffs now.
Well, exactly. The number 1 point performer, by the way, 3 goals and 3 assists. He plays with Alexander Ovechkin, but it's not Ovechkin. It's Nicholas Backstrom. Corey Perry has 5 points. Jonathan Taves for Chicago has 5 points. Craig Smith of Nashville, another no-namer, has 5 points for the Nashville Predators. Marian Hossa for the Chicago Blackhawks, 5 points. So in the top 5, who do you got there? You've got 4 Western Conference teams and 1 Eastern Conference team. This is where, when you talk to some people and they say, where's the Stanley Cup champion going to come from? And they say it's going to come from the West. It's because the West is more offensive than the Eastern teams. And that shows right now big favor to the Chicago Blackhawks with a recognizable name. The team's captain is number 3 in point production in the NHL's postseason right now, Jonathan Taves. And Marian Hossa, who was brought to the Chicago Blackhawks to be a point performer, has contributed as well and has 5 helpers.
Just shocked about that. I'm just surprised that with that stat with the Tampa Bay Lightning, I'm still sitting here shaking my head about that.
Yeah, 1 player in the top 46, and he's tied with about 20 other players that have 3 points each. But the thing with that 1 player for the Tampa Bay Lightning is he's got 1 goal and 2 helpers. He only has an average of 17 minutes of ice time. So it's not. He's not one of those go-to players. He's a third liner, and he's the one that's been able to score. Nikita Nesterov.
Unbelievable. And any other stat news you have there, Ron?
Well, I mean, you look at the goaltenders, and you have to feel for some goaltenders. There's 2 in particular that I feel for, and that's goaltenders that have helped their team make it to the postseason, and now they're kind of being discarded, if you will. But something's happened with the team in front of them because they're not playing the same way that they played in the regular season, and that's the issue. When you look at Eddie Lack for the Vancouver Canucks, when you look at Andrew Hammond for the Ottawa Senators, you see in the regular season 2 goaltenders that stole the show and were solid between the pipes and won games that the teams needed to win. In the postseason, they have been discarded now. Andrew Hammond did not start the 2 games in Ottawa He has been the backup goaltender for Game 3 and Game 4. Eddie Lack did start in Game 4, but was quickly replaced after 20 minutes with Ryan Miller. And so Eddie Lack is done as well. So for me, the goaltender stats is the one that kind of a little bit disheartening, if you will, because of the situation that these were the goaltenders that got the players to where they needed to get to.
That's incredible for all the stats that we have there, and just seeing the awards and seeing the players that are coming in and the players that are coming out.
Yeah. If you want goaltending leaders, Chicago Blackhawks, let's go back to them for a second or two. Corey Crawford found in Game 1, found his team down 3-0 and got yanked. Scott Darling came in. Game 2, they went back to Corey Crawford. And again, it wasn't a very good outing. So in comes Scott Darling for the next couple of games. Scott Darling right now leads the NHL postseason with a 1.05 goals against average. That means he's allowing 1 goal a game. He has a save percentage of .969. That's less than 3% of the shots that he's facing are finding the back of the net. He's got 3 wins so far, but Devin Dubnyk is one goaltender that does have a shutout, along with Peter Mrazek of the Detroit Red Wings. So, I mean, there's only been 2 shutouts so far. But it's interesting to see some of those stats, especially the goals against average. Scott Darling, Chicago, Dubnyk, Minnesota Wild. You go down the list. Craig Anderson is in there. He has yet to win games, and Carey Price has been in all 3 games for their respective teams, being the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens. And that's a more impressive stat because they have never been replaced between the pipes. So these are full stats. These are for full games played. Jonas Hiller and Carey Price in the top 6, and then you go down and Braden Holtby for the Washington Capitals in there, Yaroslav Halak for the New York Islanders. Henrik Lundqvist has been allowing 2 goals against, and Ben Bishop is still there for the Tampa Bay Lightning, but he's allowing 2 goals against on an average as well. So it's just interesting to see some of the stats for some of the goaltenders especially.
Sure is, after you had to reveal that, but we already know that, the season's coming to an end pretty much. The reason why I say it is because, look, we got 2 months left. And you got to talk about the highs and lows of every player for the NHL, for the players that did well and the players that didn't do well, or the players that didn't even make it.
Yeah, and I mean, right now, I did throw out the term Conn Smythe and all the rest of that earlier when I was talking about Michael Furlan, but there's still 16 teams involved in the postseason. No team has been eliminated yet. I expect there to be some eliminations. I don't expect there to be an elimination tonight. I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan, and I don't think that they should be up 3-0. I think Ottawa will find a way to win this game, but Montreal has proven me wrong on that stat already this week, back on Monday. So who knows? Montreal could be the first team to make it through to the second round. But the other team facing elimination is the Winnipeg Jets, and they've got their hands full with the Anaheim Ducks. I think their next game is coming up tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken. That'll be a big game in Winnipeg. But right now, the only real surprise that I suppose that I have, the only real surprise is that how close the series between the Washington Capitals and the New York Islanders really is. I mean, I knew that it would be a close series. I expected both teams to win 2 games before the other team advanced. But, yeah, it's a little surprising. I didn't expect it to be quite that tight.
I didn't expect it to be that either, and I think it's just, for what you're saying, it's just kind of surprising when you look at this matchup and you look at the fact that Ottawa could have gotten a game out of it. I possibly maybe see Ottawa just maybe winning a game. They feel like, we don't want to go out 4-0 and get swept. Let's just go in there and see if we can just win a game. But then we realize it gets tougher because then they win. They got to go right back to Montreal and play a very tough Game 5 in a hostile environment in Montreal. Same with the Pittsburgh Penguins. We know that they're winning 1-0 right now in a game they have to win in order to make this a 6-game series.
Well, it's a must-win for the Pittsburgh Penguins simply because of where the game is being played right now. The game is in Pittsburgh. They already gave up Game 3 to the New York Rangers, so this is a back-and-forth series. They once said that you haven't lost your hopes in the postseason until you lose at home. So now that they've lost at home, they have to figure out how to win at home if they want an opportunity. So the Pittsburgh Penguins need to win this game. You're right. They need to win this game and force it to a 3-game series. They give up home ice advantage again to the New York Rangers, but they'll have to steal one in New York if they are to get by the Rangers. And the Rangers are not playing like President's Cup trophy winners. These games have been extremely close between the two teams. We don't have much time, but I'll just tell you, like right now, the New York Rangers won 2-1 in game number 1. They lost 4-3 in game number 2, and in game number 3, they won 2-1. So it's been 3 one-goal games that has made the decision in the first 3 outings. One of these two teams needs to show the other that they can score and score almost at will, and it's not happening so far.
Yeah, the Rangers need to show it. They need to be tougher. And if the Rangers somehow maybe lose this series to the Penguins and they get upset, that would be one of the biggest shocks of the entire NHL playoffs for 2015.
It will be, because the New York Rangers have been touted as a Stanley Cup contender since probably January, when it was starting to look like they were going to be a President's Cup trophy winner. The last time they won that was back in 1994. The 93-94 season is the same year, and the last time that the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup.
And that's our time for today, boys and girls. How about that, huh?
That's crazy. It goes really fast.
Goes really fast. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. We had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. Remember, we'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, don't forget, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Sean Mann, Ron Gallo, I'm Jeff Escal. This has been Sports World Radio. Peace out, bitches.
See ya and have a great evening.
Enjoy the games, eh?
Hey, boys, Stimpy. We sure had fun today, kid. So long, kids. Come on, Stimpy, say goodbye.
Where are we going?
The